English Techniques organized by FTP division of A.C.T Academy, Tamil Nadu and Kerala units. I warm welcome to Dr. Sunil Sir, Assistant Professor at Dr. Shubhas University Schools of Arts and Humanities, Gujarat, with PhD in Mobile Assistant Language Learning and a strong background in ELT and Applied Linguistics. Dr. Sunil Sir is a renowned academic and researcher. As a guiding light to six PhD students, Sir has shared his expertise through numerous talks and prestigious institutions and conferences. As an editorial expert, Sir serves as a reviewer for Research Matrix, a esteemed research publication. His research interests include artificial intelligence, language science, machine learning, education, and leadership. Dr. Sunil Sir has published over six papers and is currently working on registering an Indian patent. He has also been a keynote speaker and session chair at various conferences. Now I invite our esteemed resource person, Dr. Sunil Sir, to handle the session. Please take the session, sir. Welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, I hope that my voice is audible. I checked it already previously for 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Voice is audible.
So that's a good news. Wonderful. Thank you. Good noon, everyone. Nice to see you, such an enthusiastic audience. Few people are from India, few people out of India. That's really great abroad. Uh, I got invited before 1 week, and I was also thinking that what should be included in that. And I suggest it should not be the seminar only, it should be the workshop first. And in workshop, there should be some activities that we will include this time. So I'm sharing one link with you. One uh, Google form is that. So before I just beginning my workshop, I just request all the participants, please fill that workshop. So I'll just get insight that what exact thing that you are in need. Since we are going to talk about a term which is really abroad, it's not that much broad, and I'll try to narrow down the things which we are going to discuss. So please fill up that form. I'm giving you 3 to 4 minutes. So I'll get insights. What kind of techniques that you're using in your profession? What kind of things that you need? And where we need modification, that is also going to share it with you. Okay, so you have 3 to 4 minutes. Please fill up that Google form. I have just shared the link. And in between that time, let me share my point of view and my PPT in front of you. I'm sharing my PPT. Don't worry, at the end of the session, the PPT is going to get shared with you. Okay. Right. Can you see the screen, everyone? I have shared my PPT. It is based on internet speed, I think. See, that's the innovative English language teaching techniques. Though the topic is reframed twice, thrice, and we added only innovations. What are the innovations has been done in English language teaching, and what are the techniques? New techniques has been innovated. That is what the sole purpose of this workshop. Let me just go next. Second slide. It's really a great one. And just a second. I'm trying to share it. Yes, that's good. Right. These are the content we are going to add this time. Basically, six content is a surprise for you all at the end, and it will give you the insight. You have what you have learned right now, you'll get at the end, and that's a practical thing. I have not added part six. ELT methods. First, we are going to talk about. Actually, I have reframed ELT, English language teaching. When we are talking about, we always start with the history. Lord Macaulay, Sir Lord Macaulay came, reframed teaching systems, added English medium schools, English medium colleges, and many more things. So revolution starts in teaching from that day because the system was reframed. So we are going to learn the difference between the traditional and modern methods. What was happening? ELT is English language teaching, I know. There is an image. Let me tell you, that's AI generated image. I asked an AI, please create an image, and I created. When you look at the particular image, you'll find that some methods are there. And it starts with the grammar translation method, if you can see. Then you go aside, there'll be another method is there. Audiolingual method, communicative language teaching is there, CLT, task-based language teaching is there. Many are there. Total physical responses is there. We are not going to talk about what are the methods, what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks. No. Today we are going to talk about that in 2024 in the world, what are the methods? They are really important. And how it can be helpful in our teaching. That's really modern and that is really helpful. I did survey, read few books, come up with some research papers, and come up with these findings. Earlier, what was happening? It was just, the teacher was in the center. When that teacher went to the class, it was not student-centric, it is teacher-centric. And teacher is the only primary source. Students are totally relying on teacher. Teacher is providing the books, teacher is providing the knowledge, teacher is the sole source. Whatever the teacher delivered, it has to be memorized by the students. And that can be used. Or that cannot be used. Two different angles are there. But we found that traditional approach, the student's role was a bit passive. And second, after that, when English medium schools and colleges came, the first method that we rely on the grammar. We know that teaching any language grammar is the first thing. It was a traditional one. Today also, there is one app is already available, Duolingo. If you go to Duolingo, that they never teach the grammar. They will give you some activities. So it is far more different from traditional to modern. And what was happening? They focusing on vocabulary, your comprehension for merely reading, not for understanding. So somewhere traditional approach, some Bloom taxonomy, if we just go with that, different 6 pillars, the last 2 pillars, analysis and critical thinking, was not fulfilled. And what was happening? After listening the teacher, most of students, they need to give one exam. Since I'm talking about from 2010 till 2010, only one exam used to be conducted. And only two tests. Like they say the standard test, they take it the end of the year. Then it is also reframed, like summative and formative test they added. That was a traditional approach. But see, in EL2, there's a great change came. When English came, it has to be taught as an English language, as a compulsory English, as a subject compulsory in schools, in colleges. The role of teacher has been changed because they have studied the English literature and language, and they modernize themselves by learning from native speakers. Now, teaching language, the role in a modern era has changed. It is student centric, and students become very much active in that role. Here, student can find the material, students can learn from group work, students can learn from peer work, they can learn some collaborative projects. So they will get motivation from each other. They will learn from each other. And I think nowadays we don't need to use some ice-breaking activities. It was again 2010, it was there, we were using it. But they are using it. And they are a bit fluent and modern to talk with them. That they don't hesitate to ask questions to the teacher. Now, some instructions methods also have changed. Earlier, teachers were giving the oral instructions, and only it was a very simple, the traditional instructions were going on. Now it is changed. Teacher can employ the various strategies. They started when that evolution came in 2010. Laptop came 2005 when computer came. So it was an era of a computer, 2005 to 2010. A computer came, computer lab came. So the teachers started using that computer because it provides an individual learning. So they're using multimedia and various resources. Like it was very easy if any teacher is teaching general to anyone and telling the worst part of the society or the new how the society is being nuclear nowadays. What was that past form of that Bronte's society in that time, Victorian era? So students started watching movies. So visual aids in movies, they're feeling aroused, and they come to know with an exact idea by using the different senses. And the teacher has also using some hands-on activities like a role play. A movie scene has been played, and the role play activities has been performed by the students, so they can feel the individual feeling of a character. They can feel the atmosphere or the context. When the technology integrated, the classroom became too much interactive. It was not stopped yet. Whiteboards came. And it has not stopped to the whiteboards because the education was limited to the schools and colleges. But due to the technology, now students can learn, they can get educated anywhere else by just using a mobile. I'm going to tell you, don't worry. Some apps are also available. Online resources. Corona pandemic has made the education system online. And it has changed a very big thing. See, that is what they need. We practiced it and we got succeeded for that. But after that, again, we need to come back to the modern era, living some online platforms. So we shifted to the real life communications. 2021, we started the classes, we started teaching with the real life problems. And we give the priority to fluency first. Fluency should be there, accuracy should be there in the language. So this should be the two priority. And we started using some activities, common activities that we have used. First, check this image. There are various methods, various techniques are used that how student can learn. Somewhere you can find desktop, somewhere you can find laptop, somewhere you can find tablet. Many things are available. See, this is the real image of classroom. Oh, it is futuristic, let me tell you. Few colleges, few things are there. India is developing right now. And in many latest modern classes, just looks like that only. Interactive whiteboards, doing analysis, giving real-time feedback. Even students can stand, less use of the library, there's a e-material is available. So many things are there. Any concept can be learned according to the need of the students. It means students can decide from where they need to learn, because it aims to enhance learning experiences. What we call it experiential learnings. And that was the technology has provided. It has give the facility to students. And let me tell you, I asked you in the beginning that in Bloom taxonomy, last 2 points were remaining. It was in that method particularly. It has fulfilled in this integrating the technology in our classroom. Because technology gives the individual platform to learn and give the variety. It's kind of a fun too. I'm going to teach you, don't worry. There are a few points out there I'm going to discuss on it. And it develops the critical skills. There's the individual thinking started. Leslie Dickinson has said in 1994, and Miss Leslie has written about earlier too, about the self-directed learning, SDL. So somewhere it has fulfilled from the core even, computer assisted language learning. You see, role of teacher. Role of teacher. Earlier, role of teacher was an ICT facilitator too, moderator too. But now it has changed. Communicative language teaching, somewhere you find so many things. One teacher can teach online even. They can go with the manuscripts, or if they don't want to carry any manuscripts, it is available online. Earlier, it was a big problem that we need to buy a book from the international publisher, and it takes time to reach to your country, your destination. But now it is very easy. So language learning becomes very easier and fun also. It provides a newness, novel things. And every user, every student, they like to learn the one thing from various perspectives. Like see, call computer assisted language learning. Earlier, the computer lab was there. Many computer labs, even government, central government, state governments have funded many computer labs. And we started giving programs to them. It was really good. Some activity was that basic language skills has been taught in that LSRW. It was the basic things. And now they changed it because it has been shifted to the modern digital classroom. Not even a digital, it's a real-time whiteboard classroom or digital board classroom, interactive classroom. Many phrases has been used for that, and it is still keep on developing. So the call was that, and after call, the MALL came, MALL, mobile assisted language learning. But before that, I'm going to tell you that if we put mobile aside, this would be one of the best the technique that you can use. Nowadays, people are using it. It's a cooperative learning. Cooperative learning, it's an instructional, it's one of the strategical learning is there. Where we need to become the moderator only and facilitate the students to learn by cooperating with each other. Some common goals are there because you need to foster the collaboration. In modern society, students are they don't like to get socialized in society, in family. Many things are there, and there the lack of communication create the problems, and it becomes the hindrance of learning. Here, cooperative learning provides positive independence. It gives individual independence, but positively one can learn. You can go with the peer learning, you can go with the group learning. It provides, hello, individual accountability. So learning is kind of that. It is a role of a moderator that everybody should contribute in a group meaningfully. A purpose or the objectives should be served. Here you can find in that group, students are sitting very comfortably, and their sitting arrangement is also changed, and you find the smile in that faces. There is no nervousness, there is no anxiety. You didn't find any negative things. So somewhere I feel that such kind of the cooperative learning, such kind of the sitting arrangement will really help them to learn. One can come up with the plan, one can come up with the laptop, one can come up with their books, one can come up with some notes, one can come up with by discussing, by standing somewhere else. Some few people were started writing on the boards. Few things are there. So such kind of the cooperative learning give the positive independence to every member. So I just said earlier, ice-breaking activities we don't need, and this will foster learning. In fact, they will sit with the friends. They will always sit with the friends, and they will never hesitate to ask questions to them. This is the biggest thing that we can do. Second thing, whatever they interact face to face. You remember in your education courses, it has been taught by ZPD, Zone of Proximal Development. Well, here it is the actually exact zone of proximal development for the students if they sit with their friends, interact face to face. It's experiential learning and real life learning too. Because here, when they communicate, the relationship bond was created. Relationship bond. So my questions to all the listeners that do you really feel we need to build a relationship with our students to interact more face to face? Do you feel? Please type in a comment, yes or no. Do we really need to build? Yes, that is what my idea is. See, as a traditional approach, this is the biggest problem that being created curricularly is that there is a distance between the student and teacher is very high. Second thing, there is no individual learning. It is a group learning is being happening. In traditional classroom, when the teacher is being teaching in that writing on the board or digital board would be the typing something on it or explaining, the distance between students create the problem, and that's a proximity. It creates a problem. I found that when I go much nearer to the comfort zone of a student, and the students will be, they feel much comfortable to ask the questions because our entire learning process is based on that. Dr. Jyoti has written, I must appreciate that, Professor. That is what the key point. When that relationship will build, and then it will start approach, it will approach the students, and it will students, they can freely ask the questions. And that is what the you are giving a new resolution, new leadership to the students. In if you talked about the traditional approaches, teacher was in the center. Teacher is the only a leader. Are you agree that we need to give the leadership to the students during classroom teachings? Let them be a leader. Yes or no? We know that we need. It is one of the core objective of our teaching is that we need to create the good citizens, good leaders for our countries, for our world. So multiple opportunities. Cooperative learning gives the multiple opportunities to the students, to the learners. They interact, they discuss, and it is a group. It means they one can reflect their idea. One can measure their own performance by asking questions, or one can learn from others too. Collaborative learning. Vygotsky says about it earlier. Social learning. They talked about it. So that is what the great idea of cooperative learning, and this can be done well. Since I'm talking about my class, I'm teaching criticism to my students in graduation, post graduations. I don't teach them. I discuss the idea with them. If any critic would be there, I discuss the idea. I just say that do the critic did the right thing or the wrong thing, or any new thing can be done. So discussion only creates make the students to analyze themselves, their ideas. They analyze it critically and reflect with their own idea, so which can develop their own performance with the collaborative learning. What I found my classroom is that students are lacking of motivation, and we have been taught that motivation can be done like this. Thank you very much, wonderful, I like your idea, reinforcement guns. No, motivation, I believe that I'm using it. You accept and you reframe yourself. In collaborative learning, they reframe their own ideas. They discuss the ideas, put forward it. One person will put the idea and let the discussion start. And let me tell you, your topic has been taught such a beautifully. And see, it is a lifelong learning. It is not a short-term learning. Students can remember because it is experiential learning. Let me tell you, one can remember it for a lifetime. It will help to boost their own performance, own ability. Some benefits are there. I already shared, but I'm just sharing it with you for a brief. Enhanced learning, skill development. Something is there because they can learn from each other. They broaden the knowledge. The basic problem with the teacher is that we have a limited time. And in that limited time, we can't approach individual students. And here, collaborative learning, they collaborate with each other and individual learning will take place. They can develop their own techniques by asking questions and enhance the knowledge, set up skills too. They become creative. How they become creative? Because they brainstorm. When that idea will be put in front of them, they'll brainstorm themselves. They try to recall few things or correlate few things. In fact, they pollinized the idea. Idea will be pollinized. And they come up with the new innovations or new solutions on the problems. Because earlier English teaching has been limited to this thing only. No students is allowed to come up with a solution or some innovative ideas. Some limitations are there. Earlier problems were there. Few textbooks they cannot print it well. The teachers has been teaching the same method under whom that he's being taught. Problem solving techniques. It is the biggest problem I found is that in traditional classroom, the students never ever share their problems. Are you agree with me? Did you find the students are sharing their problems with you? Please write in the comment. While teaching, see, I'm telling you, while teaching, I'm not, the few modern teachers are there. I really appreciate my teachers were there. We used to go for a tea and we discuss and we share our problem with them. Because they afraid and shyness. This is what the thing, where collaborative to share their problems. It is not the problem. In fact, they are not sharing their problems with their parents even. The friends, the group are there, and it gives the confidence to them to share their problems. The learning. I'm giving one example. In one of my class, I found that one of the girl is writing notes from her neighbor, benchmate. I visited once. Second, I also found that she was doing the same. You know what was the problem? She was having number in the eyes. I just asked her that, can you read something written on the board? She said that, sir, I can't read. I said, you come forward. A common thing that we do. She came, but though she was copying from the neighbor only. I say that, did you find blur alphabets or words blurred? Yes, sir. Wonderful. I asked two to three her classmates to give the specs with the different numbers, 2, 3, 4, and 3 was matched. Now she said that the things are clear, sir, because they never come to us. When I met her parents, I just shared the same problem. And even their parents said that students are not sharing their problems with us. They don't like to wear specs. This is what the problem. But when you said that she got encouragement, and when you shared with us, we sat together, we discussed the problem, and we found the specs. I said, what a simple solution was that, simple question was that, but the students feeling shy to ask their teachers. Because role of teacher is not limited to teaching only. It is more beyond than that. To make them motivate. And now she has get encouraged and started participating in the classroom activities and even the college and university activities and competitions. I think that kind of the teaching skill that we need. Next one is greater efficiency and productivity. We need to make them efficient and productive too. Okay. My questions to audience is that, are you giving any responsibilities to your students while teaching? Or during entire semester of the year? Are you giving any responsibilities to the students? Oh yes, that's wonderful. Great. I appreciate the audience. That's really enthusiastic one. See, responsibilities make the students a good leader. Let them judge themselves. Let them take the responsibility and complete the task by them. Because when you give the responsibilities to them, then they become efficient, and then you can find that how much productive. Give them responsibilities during a classroom. Many techniques are there, you can use it. Because when you give responsibilities, they feel very, very happy that at least there was some role has been provided to me. And they come up with a purpose. Okay, this is my role. This is my role. Like one example is also given here, projects. This is one of the tragedies that teachers are giving the less project to the students. Give the project to them. Many projects you can give, and then you can find productivity. Simple, you ask them to draw the A3 size grammatical rule simply. Charts, ask them to prepare charts during classroom. Ask them to give the presentation. Ask them to give explain them. Many things are there. I found students are too much creative. They are full of creativity. We just need to explore them. Because when you give the responsibilities to them, they'll start asking some questions to you. The shyness will just reduced. And let me tell you, it will foster their negotiation skills, interpersonal skills. It will not help only limited to the school or the colleges. It is for a personal life even, in a society too. Yes, this is what the thing. Because they got some objectives. What they need to do, they come up with that. Otherwise, earlier in traditional approach, objective was to get marks, to be obedient to the teacher. A teacher can be wrong. A book can be wrong. It happens many times. The role of a teacher is being changed. Next one is, when you give them their objectives, the purpose, they will set their goal. And once they set the goal, encouragement should be there, accountability. See, teacher is the role model for every student. When you thank to your students, then your students will thank to you. Respect can be earned like this. So motivate them. Motivate. Motivation is a great thing. Not by giving. See, for students, motivation is only thing. You just go and just pat the back. That would be enough for them. Okay, some reinforcement skill that you can using it. But motivate in front of the class. Next one. When you motivate, it will reduce their stress. In 2024, the use of technology has been used in such a way, the family, nucleus family, joint family, the societal problems. Many students are coming from so many things from the home. But when they enter to the class and when they see your smile, they should reduce their stress. Collaborative environment. Nobody's coming from the bad environment, let me tell you. When they collaborate, they learn from each other and they feel free because it reduces individual stress. In fact, I remember when I went to my class and when I was late, my teacher has greeted me. Oh, good morning. I said, good morning. They never ever demotivate. They just motivate you. This is what the thing we need to do. Without punishing, without other things, commenting, or the biggest drawback of the teacher is taunting. Please avoid. Be frank, be straight. That's it. Because such kind of the statements reduce the motivations and make the students feel stressed. Because we are coming from the community where few people are really rigid. They never ever leave their some rules. Never. Right. You can give various kind of tasks for the students. Various tasks you can give to the students. Like you can create your lesson plan, like in a name of gamification. People say that students are playing game. Ask them to play the game. The literary games are there. Language learning games are there in classroom, and it will benefit you. See, I'm just wait for a second. See this image, operative learning, or see this image, role of an ELT. You will find every student is doing something else. Every student in my old images, they come up with so many new ideas. They give the individual learning platform where teacher has not to limit themselves with the one technique. There are many tasks you can give to the students. You design game-based activities for vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. You can use interactive technology too. It's available on internet. Don't worry, I'm going to share the platforms also where you can use it. You can prepare your lesson plan and many other things. Just a second. One video is there. I'm just requesting you to watch the video. It's a 4 to 5 minutes video. And just type on the comment, have you learned something from the video or not? It's a workshop. That's why I made the particular video for you. And that's for the school and colleges. Both kind of teachers can learn from that. I just wanted to know, what have you observed in that?
Gamification, by definition, is the use of game design and mechanics to enhance non-game context. After all, people currently spend 3 billion hours a week playing video and computer games. From an educational context, Incorporating game elements into lesson plans to motivate students and make learning enjoyable is hardly new. But as gaming technology grew more sophisticated, there came the introduction of serious games based on strategy, time management, and role-playing elements, further enhancing the potential offered by gamification. Gamification focuses on extracting the underlying principles of game and asking whether an education experience can be reconfigured to build on those principles. A successful gamification program will use 4 freedoms of play. The freedom to fail, allowing mistakes to be made with little consequence. The freedom to experiment, allowing players to explore and discover new strategies and pieces of information. The freedom to assume different identities, encouraging players to see problems from a different perspective. And the freedom of effort, with games that allow players to go through periods of intense activity and relative inactivity. In 2009, the New York City-based Institute of Play established 2 fully gamified high schools under the principles of gamification. For many classes, the activities are not internet-enabled, but involve role-playing and classroom exercises. Gamification is not a universal panacea. It is vital to ensure that students are not isolated by the technology, nor do they tumble into the pitfall of expecting immediate reward for their effort, but instead find value in learning itself. If gamification is to provide value to schools, projects must be carefully designed to address valid challenges for the schools, focusing on specific areas where gamification can provide the maximum value. The programs must be designed to suit the objectives of the classroom, working with an existing curriculum, rather than introducing an entirely new activity, which may be beyond the student's capabilities. The system requires a strong commitment of both time and money, with administrative support beyond the first attempt to take gamification from a trial concept to a platform, and subsequently refining it. The right mechanisms should be chosen for the class, targeting the right students, which often is the most challenging element, in tandem with the creation of gamified projects. Meaningful assessments of whether they are achieving their aims must be developed. The combination of an increased focus on student engagement and the possibilities provided by digital learning make gamification a powerful tool for educators. However, it is a tool that must be implemented carefully. Ultimately, gamification should make learning fun rather than sugarcoating what could be seen as a bitter but necessary experience.
Please write in the comments so I can just read that. I hope that you got the idea. What the role of a gamification? How they motivate by giving stars to them, by giving the advanced level to them. They encourage the advanced level is kind of an encouragement to them when they just started uh, solving the problems. It is really one. Second one is a flipped classroom, because flipped classroom is a kind of a reversed learning structure. Let me tell you, it's not the traditional one, flipped one, because we are just what we do. We just take lecture, give homeworks to them, give assignments. Everything is being reversed. First, engage with the instructional content at home, video recordings. First, you need to give material to them. Then they use that thing in the class time, and we can go for the interactive activities like group discussions, some project discussions, presentations like this. So the flipped classroom. First, it is a reverse learning structure. Second, it is active. It provides active learning environment, like model encourages active learning, such kind of the models. And students started, motivated for participating into the classroom activities. Still, again, some hindrance, some barriers are there. So this time, the students will learn some problem-solving activities, and they just, rather than become passive, they become active. One more video is there for you related to flipped classroom.
Disabled. 30 students sit in rows of desks, taking notes on the teacher stands at a whiteboard. Regardless of ability level, each student receives the exact same pace. As Miss Jackson presents the same material, the students respond differently. Tommy gets it, while Allison is bored, and Maria is lost. At the end of the day, these same students come home. While at home, they sit at the kitchen table doing their homework and trying to remember what Miss Jackson said. Students like Tommy make it most of the way through the homework, while others, like Allison, find it easy and fly through it. At the same time, students like Maria get frustrated and need some extra help. Miss Jackson recognizes that students have different needs and would love to work individually with each student, but this requires time and resources that her school does not have. One solution to this problem is the flipped classroom. Here's what it looks like. While at home, students sit in their rooms watching videos of the lesson that Miss Jackson assigned. Tommy is still able to work at his normal pace. Allison is no longer bored because now she can use this new technology to fast forward through the easy material. And Maria is no longer frustrated because she can review the material that she didn't understand, pausing and rewinding. When she really gets stuck, she can get help from her classmates. New technology platforms like Moodle and Edmodo make it easy for her to chat online with her classmates. Just as the homework is different, the classroom is different as well. Instead of standing in front of the room speaking, Miss Jackson walks around the room. She checks in with Tommy as he works collaboratively with some students. She pushes Allison further with some technology. And she helps Maria with the pieces that she still doesn't know. In the traditional model, there's students with knowledge. But with the flipped classroom model, the students have direct access to the knowledge, and the teacher serves as a co-leader in that, helping the students access this knowledge. Flipped classroom leverages technology in ways that Ms. Jackson and the students make the most of this role and efforts.
Right, two videos that we have watched. It was related to flipped classroom. Project-based learning and English is also there. Don't worry, the link I will share. But I wanted to give some insights, particularly. Few attendees are asking questions. Don't worry, at the end, we have the question answer session at the end, but let me finish the particular thing. Project-based learning in English, it is also an important one. In English classroom, this is what the only thing which help them to grow. They will get something new, not like the question answers only, because it integrates the language skills. They need to frame their own idea. Project needs so many insights to them, what to do, what not to do. It leads them to a novel thing, new things, and they come up with the outcomes. Don't worry, I'm going to share the PPT, so I'm not just going with the particular video. Project-based learning is also helpful, you know it very well.
What is project-based learning? How can we use it to build intercultural competence? In this video, you will learn about a project-based activity for building intercultural competence. Project-based learning is a teaching method in which students learn by actively engaging in the world and personally leading projects. Intercultural competence is the ability to function effectively across cultures, acting appropriately, and communicating and working with people from different cultures. You can use the project-based activity, Teams Talk, to help your students build intercultural competence. First, go to the American Teams Talk webpage and play some interesting interviews for students. Next, ask students to use the interviews they heard as a model to write their own interview questions. They can then interview another student. Students can record their interviews with their smartphones or write down their partner's responses. Finally, students can share their work. They can post their audio recordings on a blog or social media, or they can present their partner to the class using the responses they have written down. Have you used project-based learning before? What did you do? This is American English.
So, see, I found that in Indian culture has been keeps on changing. Now, conferences and workshops are not still limited to the postgraduate students or more than that. Even graduate students can start participating in that, and they have learning the research skills and many other things by publishing their articles in the newspaper, online writing blogs. Many things are there. They started participating in it. So, fourth is technology enhanced language learning that can be used. You can use various kind of digital tools for that, grammatical practice, for pronunciation improvement. Many apps are available. Artificial intelligence is still can be used like AI, generative, Gemini AI, and many more there. So multiple is there, but go for academic AI only. Collaborative learning and peer assessment, I already shared with you that benefits and other things. Moving forward to the next, the neuro-linguistic approach. See, that is also one of the important one is being neglected nowadays because many research paper has been published in that. In Canada, 1998 by the John Nathan and that Cloud Germain has developed this method. Neuro-linguistics approach, this is kind of approach which help the learners in between the second language learners and the native learners. They provide the gap in between. They bridge quite well that learner can start learn the new things. And it is based on research. Actually, it's based on psychology, sociology, and neuroscience. But it can be helpful in the teaching English language even. It can help, and it's part of the innovative approach. How can you need to understand? You can understand by this because students can learn tailoring teaching methods. Teaching method can be tailored for the better retention. See, we are teachers. We need to refine not ourselves. We need to refine our teaching practices, and we need to understand the individual learning styles of students. That what kind of the neurological individual identity or preferences the students are asking. That is not the thing. As I say that when you just watch, when you ask, when you explain, they understand. When you watch the video, they feel. But when you ask them to do the role play, they analyze themselves as an individual learning, experiential learning, and then we can move forward for that critical learning and critical thinking styles too. So it has become the more effective. What are the trends are going in India, Indian education? See, Indian educations is earlier it was the teacher centric, but now due to some the good professors, good teachers in India, good curriculum developers, they develop and design such a way, and they are developing and organizing the workshop, seminar. The teach now classroom has become student centered. And they develop so many approaches. Even let me tell you, a few approaches are not there in the books even. They go individually. I really appreciate them. From the traditional method, they have changed. Currently, they innovate their methods. They innovate like not storytelling, but storytelling can be done by students using multimedia resources. It's not limited to PDF. It can be limited to the artificial intelligence and many other things. Practical applications. They only idea was that they engage the students in classroom. Second, technology is being used because it gives the facility to the students and user friendliness. Earlier, it was a bulky computer. Even people don't like laptops. Classrooms are the simple tab or the mobile and your work will be done well. So third thing, earlier there was not a focus on language skills. Now the focus is being diverted to the not only language skills by providing games, multimedia, collaborative learning, social learning, peer-reviewed learning, and many more. So it engaged the students and less pressurized environment. Otherwise, teacher-centric environment was pressurized too much. Next one is student-centered learning is that. So of course, let's encourage students to participate in classroom. Ask them. When I surveyed one thing from in India, particularly in Gujarat, okay, nowadays English medium schools are there. So from first grade to 12, it takes 12 years, and though they are unable to speak the language. They only understand. They don't speak, and they able to little write, 50%. The thing is that they have learned it in traditional method. They have listened the teachers. So as a teacher, we need to encourage them to participate. And because that only fosters the dynamic learning. Environment should be free of and less pressurized. Oh, thanks to the technology, because nowadays students are more knowledgeable than teachers, or they have more ideas for that. If any problems are there, in fact, in America, in USA, European countries, nowadays parents are asking the teachers to keep agents, AI agents. Don't ask questions to me. You just go and ask to your AI agents. Even teenagers are doing it, and it really fosters their learning, their health. It becomes very easy to ask them something which you have, and you ask them. There is no problem. They like it, they don't like it. They give the answer. That's a great thing. There is no hindrance in between. Assessment. Many TED Talks I have watched, and I come up with the conclusion. TED Talk speakers are telling that Finland education is really good. I really appreciate that, because they don't have any assessment system, evaluation, writing system. So somewhere we need to think about it. If we really moving forward to the higher order thinking skills, we need to change the assessment systems. Grades and marks is not the important. What they understood, what their lifelong learning, we need to move forward that. So that is what, and continuous evaluation should be there in the classroom, not the only one exam. That is what the thing. One more video for you. See, it is the sad truth particularly. I'm playing it. This would be the last video. Then I'm going to give you a surprise for you. So I'm playing the video.
Albert Einstein once said, everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial, we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots. Do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come. No more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement. And if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it. Proceed. Exhibit A. Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A, a letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robots zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one-size-fits-all crap.
What's your language?
Sorry, Your Honor. But if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results will be tragic. So many people will get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens. This educational malpractice where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way. That's horrific.
Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees. Objection.
Overruled. I want to hear this.
It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid. No wonder so many students are shortchanged. Let's be honest. Teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid, but a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life, just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. That's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too crude to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too crude to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages, then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade and change and do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more Common Core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days. Teachers make a decent wage. Homework is non-existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls. Their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy, there is no single solution. But let's get moving, because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams, and there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe, a world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I'll rest my case.
I hope that you like the video. I can see that in the comment. Yes, one more thing is there for you. I just say the surprise is that the content which I have taken, that's from the awards recipient, not in India but internationally. Like I can see Dr. John Smith from the Harvard University got the award 2018 as the best teacher for just delivering the flipped classroom, because he just tried to make the session much more interactive, and it was really a great session. It's available on YouTube. You can watch that. I'm going to share the PPT here. You'll get the link. Maria Gonzalez also there. Stanford project-based learning, that she got that award. Dr. Aisha Khan from Oxford University. Yes, that's one of the interesting one, because in 2020 she has created some questioning methods, deep questioning method, and that has helped the students to stimulate the critical thinking. That's one of I like. That's my favorite. Such a method can be used in our classroom. Professor Sunita Desai from IIT, experiential learning is that. Dr. Richard Lee from University of Tokyo, some case study methods that he used. He asked the students to understand the concepts by going into the fields, particularly in business and engineering, but can be used in historical perspective. In that, humanities, science and humanities can be used like that. Dr. Lakshmi Menon is also there from Singapore University, National University, for collaborative learning, because he created their a learning environment such a way it is foster their growth, their students, to build the cooperative learning. Next one is Professor Anil Gupta is that University of Delhi 2024 in inquiry-based learning. That's the latest one because it helps the learners to think independently, and that is what the ultimate aim. Dr. Emily Wong is also there from Melbourne. She got the Reflective Teaching Award, particularly as a best teacher for self-awareness. When students started learning themselves, they assess themselves. So integrated reflective journals also has mentioned that. That's so wonderful. Best award, and in India too. See, that was the international awards. Now I'm talking about India. It is a national workshop. India also in 2023, Dr. Ranjit Dasal has also got the award because textbook and few things has been they're using QR codes for learning. Even students get material just for the it's QR code only. So that's that promoted particularly girls in education, Jila Parishad School in Maharashtra, providing various kind of the QR codes. 2020, Mr. Anup Tiwari is that. Um, he also got the award, inquiry based, the same one, but he found the real world problem solving. What he said, he encouraged the STEM education and provide the hands-on activities. Dr. Pratibha Verma is also there, 2019, got the award for conceptual clarity, practical approaches in education. See, such teaching methods are not there in the books. These are the awards which is given by government of India to them to foster foster the students' learning environment in various kind of the fields. Like Dr. Anand Kumar, very famous, Super 30, you know it very well, who helped the IITs students, those who are from that, the not good economical conditions, they help them to give education. Dr. Rajaram is also there for flipped classroom. Miss Belati Hola is there, 2013, that she got for the providing the equal opportunity for able students. They provide one because able is that it is special needs students, we can call it. Term has been changed. Now we can't call them handicapped one. They are special students. We just use it at Government of India. Just say that. Even Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has also got awarded for that teaching things because he visited many schools all over in India, and they promote the students, encourage them to learn and provide that mentorship even. So that's young minds, and they've written some books. So many are there. This was the surprise for you. It is mentioned in the PPT. PPT will be shared in that group. These are the links. You will get it from that where I just got this material. A few things I just shared based on my experience. Research papers. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you. Now, house is open for the questions. Yes, directly you can write your questions on a chat. I'm stop sharing the PPT. I'm giving you a few minutes. Many of them are writing their questions in the while presentation, but I'm really sorry. I need to match with the time, so I apologize for that. But yes, right now you can ask the questions. One of the question was I read students wants to talk in mother tongue. That was the problem, and we are teaching English. Language is mainly a medium, what I believe. See, when ice-breaking activity will not be there, and the students, if you can motivate students, let me tell you, they will learn from you. Don't ask questions directly. What questions that you have? Don't ask questions directly. You just motivate them, you interact with them. The basic thing is that lack of English language is not the problem. Lack of being socialized by the teacher is the problem. You try to be socialized with them. Avoid that gap in between student and teacher. They will surely copy your sentences, your language, and that is what the natural language processing, what we call it. And that is what the role that we need to provide. Any other questions? Techniques do you use to develop the creative, innovative classroom? I go individually. Go with individually. See, students are having different mindsets, different strategies they like. They go with so many things. You need to explore them. Classroom is not the place. In Indian context, classroom is something that can be worshipped. Teacher has considered as students worship the gods. Their respect. It is the role of a teacher to explore their classroom, each area, each student's interests, their mindsets, their learning strategies. Commerce and science students who are happening, they doesn't find need of learning of an English. I know the problem is with our course curriculum. Earlier, they were using they were giving only one subject in that first years, first sem and second sem. They were giving English only. In fact, I proposed them when I completed my PhD. I proposed them to add the English, make the English compulsory in all the semesters. But thanks to the private universities, they started using it, and English becomes the compulsory in all the subjects. If any subject has been taught one semester or the 2 semesters, there is some limitations are there of that particular course. And second thing, earlier, still some universities course has been designed such a way, only stories has been put. Why not activities? Okay, NEP has provided such a great thing because they need to go for some work, field work after every semester. That's a great thing. I really appreciate. If such thing has been done, students will really appreciate that and they will be encouraged. See, bilingual method that you can use, it's an older one. Bilingual method, 2 languages can be merged together and that helps them. Even in typing and internet also people have using. Nowadays, that technique was indirectly used by illiterate people in India. They're using English and your mother tongue together by learning, by listening to you. So same thing that can be used if any students is coming from the rural area. Vocabulary is something that we are not using. Muhammad is saying that vocabulary, see, students started learning English from the 1st grade to 12th grade. They know the vocabulary. Ask them to utilize it. Many activities are available. I'm telling you, a simple activity, don't ask them to write an essay on elephant. You just show the elephants. Discuss about it. Go for the group discussion. And then let the students come up with the new ideas, and by that new vocabulary will be learned. There is one dictionary is also that you can ask your students to promote. That's a dictionary of collocation. It provides a contextual meaning of every word, so that can be used. NEP 3 languages is going to influence the teaching and learning strategies in English language. Will it be a burden or a beast? More of an inspiration. Languages have never been burden to any type. Language is the medium that helps every learner to understand any topic. Every concept is coming from the different languages, different cultures. So it's a great thing that we are offering 3 languages. I just say that you offer more languages. Offer more languages. That is what the thing. Because it gives more opportunities. When you give options to your students, it helps them. It fosters the learning. Okay. Do you think in today's era, communicative English is best option for teaching learning language? What's your opinion? Yes, it is needed. But good thing is that it is not limited to English classroom only. Doesn't mean that you are a fluent speaker, you become the teacher. You can become the good presenter. You become the good speaker. You can become good anchor. You can be good telecaller. English is not the mainly language can be used in teaching. It can be teaching in the business field, civil. And nowadays, those who are growing businesses, they need good speakers. One of the survey was done in that before many years that Times of India has written that those who know English, they have been paid double salary to them. So communicative language teaching is really a good thing. And that's why the society has started moving to the English medium schools. It provides the English culture. Okay, please mention few AI tools for teachers to use middle stage English teaching. Many are, see, AI tools are there. Go with the Gemini is also good one. Gamma AI is also there. ChatGPT is also there. That activity I did in my classroom. I asked my students to get your mobile, right? Go for ChatGPT 3.5. Everybody is using it. You interact with them, and ChatGPT replied well. So what kind of the dialogue practice has been done like this? So real-time dialogue practices can be used such a way. Many, don't worry, AI tools, many are there. I'm going to mention it. For learning apps. For teachers, it is also there. But thing is that you need no app is really free. You need to pay for that, or you need to create a new email ID. That's what the only options. Few AI apps is available that you can write your whole novel. I don't know many of you have published it or not, but it is a different topic. Okay, I'm sharing one feedback form to you. Just a second. Please fill it up. Still, two more questions I can take. Anybody would like to ask? Two more questions.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir, thank you so much for such an inspiring and so many information you have given, especially the one that the best teacher award and in which field they have received that award really makes this FDP very, very unique, sir. So in the
Thank
realm
you.
of thank you so much, sir. We will look forward to attend more such FDPs that are conducted by you. So thank you, sir. On that note, I would like to ask my question, sir. What is
Yes.
post method in the realm of English language teaching and grammar teaching, sir? Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay. Okay. It means you want to know the difference,
you, sir.
right? See, grammatical methods, what you call it, earlier what was happening? I'm talking about 2005. Grammar translation method has been used. You want to know about grammar translation method, right?
Grammar translation method, I know it, sir. I want
Okay.
to know about what is the meaning of post method era. For example, if we want to enumerate the number
Okay.
of technologies and strategies that teachers are using to teach grammar. So in that
Okay.
arena, what is the meaning of post method era and what are the techniques and strategies that could be enumerated under this umbrella or heading, sir?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I have gone through one of the question in the chat box. One of the user has written, I'm doing my PhD on it. There are few things are there. I think it is the same questions, but I'm just reading it. I'm just reading it for you. See, post method era, what is learners are being encouraged. Post method era, it means education somewhere else. It talks about one period. Period, how the grammar has been taught in that before few years. After that, year by year, what are the new methods has been innovated. And to encourage the students, they developed new activities. Like earlier, grammar translation was just a merely a written practices. Earlier, I'm talking about they asking for the fill in the blanks. Even the tense has not been taught. This was the thing. But now they started teaching tenses. When they're teaching tenses, they started preparing activities on filling the gaps. It is still limited. Even some grammatical errors has been there, though they are teaching. Few things are there. Like in nowadays, teachers who are using grammar, they make the session much more interactive. Role plays has not been added. Grammar, like a dialogue playing, dialogue can be used in the classroom. In active and passive or direct and direct, you can use it. An interactive session can be done. So much creatively you can perform it. This was the biggest change because post-modern era is talking about so many novel things because education come to in a center, but still it is not in the center. I'm telling you, it needs a big budget for that. I hope you got the idea.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
There are many books are available. You can read it. Since I'm not having that much time, so I cannot elaborate your topic too much in deep, but I can give you orally like this. You can write down my email address. It is a day.sunil, der.sunil@gmail.com. You can just send me.
So, will you please type your email ID in
Oh,
the
yes,
chat
I will.
box?
I will.
Thank
I
you,
will.
sir.
You can send me that. I will elaborate and send you a few books. Those who have written what are the postmodern grammatical methods has been changed from after the independence to till 2024. I will surely just send it to you. Anything else?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any other one who having any questions? Because we have exceeded the session. Really, I request the organizer, we have exceeded 20 more minutes. Can we just call it today? Do you think reader response is useful in classroom? Oh, yes, it is useful. Why not? It would be an most interactive one. Most interactive. Earlier, what was this is the problem only. People are one of the question was that in science and commerce colleges, they are having less interest because we are just giving paragraph to them. And we ask them to find the answer of the questions which is given below. What they do, they just go and match the same words which is given in a paragraph. We don't teach them to talk about the paragraph, what the paragraph is about. Make them title, make them summarize, make them precise. These are the things will help them to develop the new abilities. Any other one? Last question. I'll take the last question. So can we just end the session here?
Yes, sir. I hope there is no queries from participant side. Sir, one more
Thank you.
question in chat box.
Do you have an app with recording videos? Many apps are available. You can record the videos. That's not that big deal. Nowadays, one Chat GPT 3.5 is there. Chat GPT 3.5. Then you can write record. Give me the few apps which can be used for the recording videos, and you can use it. Many options are there. It's very simple. See, as a teacher, our role, it means it is depending on us how much that we need to develop, and you can go with that. I have shared my feedback form, everyone. Please fill it up so I will get that whether what I have delivered, where the Indian education, English language teaching is going right now. I will just come up with an idea. And whenever the next session would be there, I will come up with the solution with some modern things, some problems. Oh yes, Mr. Gaurav said that Windows 11 screen recording is inbuilt. That's a great thing. I think nobody is having any questions now.
Yes, sir. We shall move to the end of session. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunil, sir, for sharing your expertise with us today. Your presentation was very informative and engaging. We are grateful for your contribution. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Namaste. Goodbye.